Are China and India at war? A question that seems simple on the surface, but beneath it lies a labyrinth of intricate dynamics and complex relations. Two nations, both vast and powerful. Their relationship is anything but straightforward. To understand the answer, we need to delve deeper into their relationship. Diplomatic relations between China and India have always been a topic of global significance. To understand the dynamics of this relationship, we need to delve into history and recent developments. These two nations, with their ancient civilizations and modern ambitions, have played significant roles on the global stage, often as competitors but also as collaborators. Let's start with some context. Both nations have seen rapid economic growth in the last few decades, rising to become two of the world's largest economies. Just recently, in 2022, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development projected that India and China would be major drivers of global economic growth, potentially averting a global recession. This economic narrative, however, is not devoid of conflict. The two nations have long-standing border disputes and trade imbalances that have led to tensions. But it's also important to remember that these issues are part of a larger geopolitical landscape, where both nations are vying for influence and navigating complex alliances. Yet despite these conflicts, there's a compelling narrative of cooperation and shared growth. The two countries have found common ground on numerous international issues and have often worked together in multinational forums. They've also increasingly engaged in bilateral trade and investment, creating a complex web of economic interdependence. The relationship between China and India is a fascinating study in contrasts, a delicate dance of competition and collaboration, of conflict and cooperation. It's a relationship that's not just about who has the upper hand, but also about how these two Asian giants can work together for mutual benefit. The relationship is not just about conflict, it's also about cooperation and mutual growth. So, are China and India really at war? This question, simple on the surface, is laden with layers of complexity beneath. The straightforward answer is no. These two nations are not engaged in an outright war, but let's not oversimplify the situation. Their relationship is a labyrinth, a tapestry, woven with threads of both competition and cooperation. Yes, there are conflicts and disagreements, as you'll find between any two neighboring nations sharing a long, disputed border. These disagreements often manifest as diplomatic spats, economic tussles, or border skirmishes. Yet they don't escalate into a full-blown war. And why is that? Because both nations understand the catastrophic consequences of such a conflict. They are aware that their shared history, geographical proximity, and economic interdependence make cooperation a far more beneficial strategy. Take, for instance, the global economic scene. In the face of forewarned global economic slowdown, India and China are projected to drive growth. Their robust economies are seen as the bulwarks against a potential world recession. This shared responsibility, in a way, binds them together, fostering a sense of mutual reliance. So while it's easy to focus on the conflicts, it's essential to recognize the areas where these two giants collaborate. Their relationship is not a simple black and white narrative of war or peace. It's a myriad of greys, a dance of competition and cooperation, a delicate equilibrium maintained with great finesse. In the grand scheme of things, China and India are not at war, but rather in a state of intricate and delicate balance. Having dissected the current dynamics between China and India, it's essential to take a step back and journey through time to understand how their relationship has evolved. The history of China-India relations dates back to ancient times, long before the concept of modern nation-states was even conceived. The Silk Road served as a conduit not just for trade, but for the exchange of ideas, philosophies, and culture. Buddhism, for instance, traveled from India to China, profoundly influencing the latter's society and thought. The two civilizations, despite occasional conflicts, mostly coexisted peacefully, enriching each other through mutual interaction. However, the advent of colonialism introduced a new dynamic. The British Raj in India and the century of humiliation in China left indelible imprints on their national psyches. Post-colonial era saw the birth of modern India and the People's Republic of China, and their relationship became more complex, marked by a blend of conflict and cooperation. In the modern era, both nations have navigated through the tumultuous waters of geopolitics, maintaining an intricate balance. They've had their share of conflicts like the 1962 war and disputes over Tibet and the Dalai Lama. But they've also found common ground in issues like climate change and global economic governance, and have cooperated in international forums like BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The past has shaped the present in many ways. The shared history, the cultural exchanges, the colonial experience, and the post-colonial evolution, all of these have contributed to the intricate tapestry that is the China-India relationship today. It's a relationship that's not defined solely by conflict or cooperation, but by a complex interplay of both. And as we move forward, it's crucial to remember this historical context, because only then can we truly appreciate the delicate equilibrium these two Asian giants maintain. Despite the conflicts and political tensions that are an undeniable part of the China-India relationship, there's a strong economic interdependence between the two nations. The economic ties between Beijing and New Delhi are significant and complex. China is India's largest trading partner, with bilateral trade exceeding $80 billion in 2019. From electronics to toys, a large number of goods that fill Indian markets come from China. On the other hand, India exports a range of goods, including raw materials and pharmaceutical products, to the Chinese market. Beyond bilateral trade, both nations play a pivotal role in the global economy. China, as the world's second-largest economy, and India, with its vast market and growing middle class, are key drivers of global economic growth. A conflict between these two economic powerhouses could have far-reaching implications, potentially destabilizing the global economy. This economic interdependence is a critical factor in their relationship. Their economies are intertwined in ways that make a full-scale conflict undesirable, if not outright detrimental. It's a complex bond where economic pragmatism often tempers political tensions. In the final analysis, this economic interdependence might just be the glue that holds this delicate relationship together, even when political winds blow in the opposite direction. Geopolitics plays a crucial role in their relationship. Nestled in the heart of Asia, China and India are more than just neighbors. They are two of the world's most populous countries, with strategic locations that are of great significance. China, with its expansive territory and access to the Pacific Ocean, has been flexing its military and economic muscles, projecting its power beyond its borders. India, on the other hand, is a vital player in South Asia, with the Indian Ocean serving as a strategic trade route and a potential theatre for power projection. The relationship between China and India is not just a bilateral affair. Other major powers, such as the United States, Russia and Japan, have vested interests in this relationship. The dynamics of these external relations can influence the China-India relationship, adding an extra layer of complexity. Furthermore, the respective foreign policies of China and India shape their relationship. China's Belt and Road Initiative and India's Act East policy, for instance, are both ambitious foreign policy initiatives that have significant implications for their bilateral relationship. In conclusion, geopolitics adds another layer of complexity to their relationship. It's a delicate balance of power, where each nation must navigate a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and interests. This geopolitical chess game is a critical facet of the China-India relationship, shaping their interactions on the economic, political, and military fronts. Looking ahead, what does the future hold for China and India? With the geopolitical chess game constantly in flux, it's difficult to predict with certainty the trajectory of their relationship. However, there are potential paths that their relationship could take. On one hand, tensions could escalate, leading to a more adversarial relationship. This could result in a new Cold War in Asia, with the two giants vying for dominance. On the other hand, China and India could choose to prioritize diplomacy and dialogue to resolve their differences and conflicts. This path could lead to a more cooperative relationship, fostering regional stability and prosperity. The future of China-India relations is not just about these two countries. It has profound implications for the rest of the world. Their relationship could determine the balance of power in Asia and beyond, shaping the global order in the 21st century. So as we look towards an uncertain future, one thing is clear. The relationship between China and India will continue to shape the world. Whether they choose to be rivals or partners, their decisions will echo across the globe, influencing economic trends, political alliances, and the course of history itself. The future is uncertain, but it's clear that their relationship will continue to shape the world. Before we wrap up this exploration of the future between China and India, if you found this video informative and insightful, please do give it a thumbs up. Your support helps us create more content like this. And if you want to continue learning with us and keep up to date with the geopolitical landscape, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your engagement helps us in our mission to share knowledge and understanding about the world. Thank you for watching, and remember, knowledge is power.